I like my.
There we go. I did just turn the mics on.
Chainsaws, the rest of them got handsaws, we just went through and.
The middle of the night when it got chilly.
They
It's
said,
like-
off the trail.
Okay, the mics are on.
Apparently nobody with, nobody with poison
Oh,
oak
geez.
problems
Okay,
because
let's
that
go to
stuff's
the,
woolly
let's get
through
rid of
there.
that.
It's terrible up there.
And
That's why I broke my leg, was getting ready for this ride.
Why is that not going off? The projector.
Well, I had an extra bit of storage for the trip, I guess.
Oh, you got the
There we
projector
go.
off?
It's off. Now it's off. Okay. So just so everybody knows, it'll be not Facebook because it won't connect, but there will be YouTube. We get messages from people, that's why.
Yeah, cause I already got notification that.
So there were no pictures of these, what is,
Okay.
these multi-rooms?
Oh, I gotta pass those others out. Yes, the
Okay.
$6,000
what
one
it
is
looked like.
like
It was,
what we have,
Okay.
and the,
Two watching.
other one is the
Just
one
a single
like,
weight
like
one.
we have down the trail. And this is Stanion, that's a different brand, we have Sternberg now, so, we're not sure what exactly this would look like.
36.
Oh,
This
is
is the
this
pole that you guys saw.
Halophone?
It was
Telephone?
just a little bit
This is the pool that we saw?
lighter weight.
It's the company down in that Topeka.
Right, but
Or
it has to
Wichita.
go through
They-
Through this group.
Yeah, it has to go through a company. Sternberg lets us buy direct from Sternberg, which is what all the other poles in town. So these are a little cheaper, but I think they're a little underweight, from what I was told.
Really? The ones that, from the trade show? They look
Yeah.
pretty heavy duty. I
Which I'm
mean,
sure they are, I'm not saying that, but.
what was neat about those was they had a track on the side and you could attach almost
And you can
anything
get
easily, I mean,
any
quickly
pole
to
like
them,
that
which
if
was
you
nice.
wanna pay extra.
Oh, really?
That must
I mean,
have
they
been
were,
the
I
that
mean,
must
they,
have been the
Yeah.
premium pool they had there then.
could be.
Right, it had everything on, because it was suggested that we at least put the flag brackets on them.
Yeah.
Because we have flags
Right.
at 11 foot now. These, none of these include doing that. I mean, we'd have to add that. It's an addition. And I know the Chamber of Main Street would like us to add.
Because they had all kinds, I
Brackets
mean, there
or
were all
banners,
kinds of
maybe.
things, trash cans, flags,
Right.
bike racks.
So that,
I mean, there
that
are
would
many
be,
different things that you could add to those with the bracket on the side.
right, that's why this one is
Easily,
nothing.
without drilling
No.
holes.
So that's up to you guys. Pull that in. Okay, that's
Oh, well, this is, one's the pole and one's the fixture for the light, right?
on what you just got?
Yeah,
Yes, and so you have to divide that by 2, that's why it's divided,
right.
because they gave us 2 poles and two lights.
So,
This is 289.
It's a little bit cheaper than the
Right.
Sternberg.
289, 28.95 each without freight.
Without freight. Okay. Hi, John.
Hello, John.
Sorry.
Well, we can see on Facebook. See,
That's it?
that's, on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
There's YouTube.
Good. You got YouTube. I know, it's just telling me, and I would say maybe Parker's right, that
Yeah.
it's just not touching the
I
right.
think it.
We gotta remember to shut it off, cause it was still running Tuesday morning yet. After last meeting.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did see that too.
I got a text message at 11:30 or something that night. When I
That was
It's
2
dark and
meetings
it's
ago.
still going.
Yeah, and then I
That was 2
texted
meetings
Cindy
ago, yeah.
the next morning at 6:30. I was like,
Yeah,
I
that
just
was
saw
2
this
meetings
message.
ago when we were-
We're still live.
And that's when we got nothing
Oops.
but the empty room.
Oh, well.
We'll figure it out, or you'll figure it out.
Sooner or later.
Yeah.
And Deb was gone today and Sammy set it up and I'm sure she did it just right. It just, didn't like what we did.
No, I think there's gotta be somebody responsible on the end of it.
We'll use Sammy.
Yeah, I don't think Sammy wants her personal email or Facebook attached to this. But we can use yours, Kevin, if you
I
want.
don't care.
it might be,
Light
but,
goes off at 7 o'clock.
yeah, well, mine says 6:58 too, so I
It's 6:58 too.
Okay.
don't know.
Still telling you guys what it goes off for.
That man has a lot of notes. I hope he doesn't get time to go through all of them. I'm not staying that long.
I know, I'm tired.
We'll be fine.
Yeah.
He's just prepared. I know that's his job. You can move that black book into the chair or something if you get
Okay.
stuff over there. If it's in your way. That's our notes for starting the screen and stuff, so. There you go.
Calls me order.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Fry,
Present.
Keating. Snellings,
Present.
Beichman,
Present.
Karaki,
Present.
Price,
Present.
Barons,
Here.
Crum.
Here.
Oh, you have a quorum.
Okay. First up, we have the approvals from the regular meeting on October 9th.
Move approved regular minutes of October 9th, 2023 is written.
Second.
Okay, any changes, discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, 8-0. Next up, we have the special meeting on October 16th.
Move approved special meeting minutes of October 16th, 2023 is written.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 8-0. Next, we have public comment. Is anybody here for 5-minute public comment? Yes, I guess we'll do you first, I guess.
I just,
Yeah.
didn't know if the council or everybody was aware of these certified letters that are going out to people because of their property. I received this, it said it was delivered the 10th, which that was no post office mail that day, so I don't know
Yeah.
exactly when. But a car was on Jack's, and the letter says it had illegal tags on the back of it. They sent it to me and Tom Temple, my landlord. I live in a duplex. This car was on the other duplex.
Okay.
Wasn't my car, wasn't illegally tagged. It's tagged under July, which is legal, because it's not my car. But a certified letter was wasted, and he never received one. You know, and the car was gone. He was putting tires on it. I'm his neighbor. I asked him what he was doing. I didn't know if he was changing mufflers, and he says, no, he's getting new tires and wheels. It was in the backyard of our property. I wasn't offended by it, so this letter going around being mailed to the wrong person
Yeah.
kind of dampered a little bit of waste of money with a certified letter.
Okay.
I mean, it was pretty handwritten, but I just wanted to be aware that sometimes they are making mistakes.
It's difficult sometimes to track down, who owns
But
what.
it's obvious it was a duplex, and it was on the 1208 driveway, not mine, but I got it. And Tom came in and talked to somebody, but I wanted you guys to be aware that this is happening.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. All right. Yes.
I'm Sharon Kessinger from the 4th Ward. Well, I guess it's not the 4th Ward anymore, I'm not sure. I don't know. Anyway, Is that right?
I'm not sure right
Oh,
anymore.
Still the fourth.
Yeah, she is.
I'm not, but you are.
Oh, I'm still in the fourth?
You're still in the fourth.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, and I represent tonight the Custer House Museum Foundation, and we just, I'm sorry I didn't get on your agenda, so I'm just going to tell you this really fast. Maybe you
Yeah.
can consider it for the future, or for next time, that we would ask you to have the museum open for some winter hours, maybe 2 or 3 days a week. I don't want to go into all of that this time because I don't have much time, but, or you don't have much time, but there are a lot of reasons to do that, and one is being that the Pony Express now is open through the winter, and the Historic Courthouse is open through the winter, and it just gives us one more thing to offer if we have some hours, some winter hours. And Jill Schmidt, who works there, is willing to do it, and willing and happy to do it. And in this letter, I have put, reasons that we think it's a good thing. And one being that Jill also said she would go over on an extra day without pay, just to check and make sure the heat's on and everything, because, in, what was it, 2020, we wouldn't have had that disaster if the house was being checked, or if somebody was in there in the winter. And anyway, that's all, and can I leave these for you, or?
Actually, they have to go in the agenda next time.
Yeah.
So if you'd leave them for me, I will put them out so they can talk about them next time.
Okay, shall I just put them on Chris's desk?
Yeah, that's fine, and I'll get them. That's great.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Anybody else here for public comment? Okay. We'll move on to business and discussion items. First, we have the Christmas holiday schedule.
That's me. Because of how the holiday falls, it is, normally, we would have our city council meeting on Tuesday, only that we have to get 2 days in there. And if we take Friday, which normally we should go forward, not backward, with how they fall, the water bills are due on that Friday, so we really kind of need to be here. So that means you would move your council meeting to Wednesday, and I wondered if that would be okay, because we have to figure out a way to get the holiday in there. Is that okay with you guys? And then usually we don't adjourn that meeting, we recess that meeting, so we have the next one. I'd like for that to be on Thursday or Friday morning. We have to be able to print the checks and find the treasurer to stamp them. I have gone to his house at night to do that if I need to, but because it's the end of the year. So does anybody have a preference? Can I get enough councilmen together, or just call when I get close to see? I mean, I don't think we'd get lucky enough to get all the bills in.
Friday morning, I'm not available.
Okay,
I know Parker won't be
I won't
either.
be either.
okay, all right,
Yeah, it's hard on Friday morning.
okay. So Thursday,
I'm good with that.
you're,
Right,
okay.
either one's fine for me.
Either one's fine? Okay, I will see if I can get 5 of you together, either Friday morning or Thursday evening. I mean, it's just 5 minutes to
And so
approve the
Thursday
bills.
evening's fine. It's
Yeah,
just
Thursday
the Friday mornings would.
Right,
Yeah.
okay. So if you want to approve that, that would be wonderful.
Move to approve the city's Christmas holiday schedule.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 8 oh. Next, we have the authorizing Cindy as a representative for the lagoon project.
They ask at that meeting, because they're all bringing information through me, if you'd make me authorized to get that information, where we don't have a city administrator, and Jason still signs his stuff or whatever, and I still attest it, but they wanted, Daniel and the guy from KDHE both thought that would be helpful.
Move to approve Cindy as authorized representative for the lagoon project.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Could you give an update on how
close they are to starting and?
Should be this week. They told me they'd be moving equipment in. That doesn't necessarily mean they will do that, but that is what they said at the pre-construction meeting. So, yeah, that's what I was told.
Next we have the 11th Road easement.
I gathered the information that you guys asked for. I wrote what Mr. Peschel told me to write about the easement that we could not give up around that, and, he is in SR1, so that means he has a 50-foot setback. So we only have 40-foot.
Because I know the one picture I had did not show the force main sewer up there in the,
That's what this
On
back
the grass,
picture does.
yeah.
The force main is on the east
Up on the
side
hill
of
in
the
the
sewer
grass.
line,
Yeah.
And
which
that
is the
changes
big
the-
thing. If it breaks, that's the hard thing to fix. And we don't have to have, we already have that easement, so we wouldn't have to get an additional easement to be able to work there on the road anyway. We don't need the easement, because we already have it.
So as an S1, it's supposed to be a 50-foot setback
Mm-hmm.
from the property line, which makes sense. Because I was starting to look, and I think mine's pretty close to that.
It could be. I know that that is because he has so many acres, and and when you guys pointed out that the senior living or whatever is closer, that is correct, and that was, I found minutes on that, that was a big deal to change that zoning because it's multifamily, and so that changed its setback. So it is a little closer to the road because the setback on that zoning is different. And there was a lot of protest on that just because they didn't think we should be changing
But is it a
zoning in that
spot?
area.
Is it-
One spot, absolutely.
So it's a 50-foot setback
From the property line,
From the property line, okay.
which is something I would have never known.
Well, have you talked to Jeff about this?
No, I heard he was calling all you guys, and I didn't know. And I will more than happy go talk to Jeff.
Okay.
How many of you guys have talked to him already?
What do I have?
He called me a couple times.
I mean, I'd be more than happy to talk to him if you want me to. I think
You
Rob
talked to
has
him,
talked to
Warren?
him some.
I think he was trying to contact everybody to meet with him in his office.
I just wondered how many, if we'd had a serial meeting yet or not.
What's that?
A serial meeting?
No.
That's
No.
Yeah.
not a serial meeting.
Yeah, it is.
So we're not all allowed to talk to the same person?
If you're
Not
talking
have a
about
meeting
this.
about the
without the
same-
mayor and the
about-
press
It's
involved.
not a meeting. I can talk to any constituent, and the constituent calls you,
But
the
if
constituent calls him.
four or five of you
I'm
have,
happy to get into this.
I'd be happy to too.
I didn't
'cause
discuss what any other council person does. I discussed my opinion.
That's okay.
As a
That- You
private
talked
citizen.
about the same thing. Every single one of you talked about the same thing.
So if I, as a private citizen, called each four people here and asked them, hey, what's going on with the thing on the side of town? And those people answered my question without asking if they'd spoke with other people, then that's a violation.
Do they have property,
Not my
do they
interpretation,
have
but I'm
property
not
involved in it?
They have proper-
Calling you and asking you about a project is one thing.
Sure.
Calling you and having a meeting with five of you about my property is a different thing.
He called me to ask me about it, and I did go by his office because I'm like,
fine.
I'd like to talk about this in person. I
And
didn't understand.
It's not serial until there's a group.
It's not serial unless one makes a decision and the other one agrees with that
I don't think
decision.
there's no decision made. now,
Right,
is there?
so that's what I'm
Very
saying.
good. You didn't make a
Right.
decision either. I
That's the hard-
personally,
Yeah.
I'm good with it, because after looking at this, what are you gonna give back to him? You need the room for the force main.
Yeah.
Now, everything I've seen that I looked up on my own, I never saw the force main.
I think it was explained to him improperly, from what I gathered in my conversation, because he thought it was gonna go out 70 foot into his property from his property.
And I agree,
That's where the disagreement is.
Yeah.
and I agree.
Well, but I think he thought that his property was the middle, I mean, that 70 foot was from the middle of the road. I think there was a bit of confusion over exactly what was the property line, whether it was the middle of the road or it was the edge of the road so.
So the edge of the property line 50 foot out, I think he was okay with that.
Yeah,
You had asked me to research it, so.
Oh, I know.
that's what did.
Appreciate
If
it.
that's okay.
And I think when it comes back to this concept of a serial conversation, I don't recall talking to anybody else that talked to him. He was very private about it to each one of us. And we kept that to ourselves.
Yeah, until I got to the council meeting and you said you'd spoken to him at council, I didn't know anybody else had.
Yeah.
I just thought he talked to me because I was Ward 4. I guess I thought he might have contacted you, but.
That makes it okay.
So if you can't talk to your constituents, I don't.
You can talk to them. But when, like, for the lake thing, 4 of you went out there, the 5th one called and talked to him on the phone. You talked about the same thing, the lake thing, and that constituted a
Who are those
serial-
individuals that went and talked to him?
Huh?
Who are the individuals that went and talked to him?
I don't know, but Chris Schrader in the paper said 4 of you went out there and the 5th one called.
It's a
Yeah.
dead subject to
Yeah.
me. I'm moving on for that.
Just telling you, that's at the, whatever, been turned in to the Attorney General or whatever, and he's, as far as I know, waiting to make an opinion on it.
Okay.
So we need no action on this?
I would say no action.
Not for leaving it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
And I promise I'll go talk to him. I'll be gone the next 2 days, but I'll go after that. So I know Jeff watches the meeting, so he knows when I'm coming.
All right, so everybody fine
Now,
with
with
no
that
action?
also being said, as you know, Jeff could have come here and talked to us.
That's what I said too.
And that's how probably it should have
Should have been handled.
happened, but. Anyway, we'll move on then to the interim manager, and it's a little bit different than, I mean, ideally, we would interview some of these people in basically an executive session, but since this person is not technically an employee, is a contract employee.
Independent contractor.
It's a little different from everything we've checked into. We have to, if we're gonna interview these individuals, we have to do it public. It can't be private or an executive session, like you typically would do with some job interviews. So I didn't know exactly how council wanted me to proceed. I thought about calling them up, but I didn't know if council would just want me to call these individuals and talk to them myself. I figured you'd probably want more input. So I don't know, I mean, do you wanna have a special meeting and try and line up some Zoom meetings with some of these candidates, or how do you wanna proceed?
I think the first thing I'll say is, in the job posting on the League of Kansas Municipalities, I'm just curious, where did the $50 an hour come from? Just
Well,
curious.
you told me between 50 and 60, and it doesn't let you give it a range. So that's what I put.
Okay.
I couldn't put, I mean, you can always go up, can't go down very well. And it would only let me put one number in. And so I thought, well, I better not promise what I can't deliver. So yes, you can increase it.
I think, wasn't the conversation to just reach out to the league and see what
And they
what
told me
can do
there were
for us?
none, but I could put an ad.
Okay, all right.
And that's what they told me, that they have like 3 they work with, but they were all busy and that they had none. But if I wanted to put an ad on their website, and I did, and then pushed it to, I don't know, KMU or somebody else, they push it to one other place. If they asked if I wanted to do that, I said, sure. And we got all these in the first, I don't know, week or 2 of me putting it out there, and we haven't got any since. I guess you can see the dates when they sent it in.
Wide array of
people. We got some interesting folks.
So which one, Jeff, did you think was good?
Well, I'll go through the list here. Since this is an open meeting, we'll start with Richard Mann. He was one of our ones that we interviewed before. And I'm just stating the facts. Resigned from Victor, Colorado, and then came back and had some legal issues in Kansas City from when he was working for the police force. I don't know. I don't remember, I didn't, not write that down in my notes from,
From when he was at Spring Hill?
no, he was in, let me look.
He's in Victor,
He was in
Colorado.
Spring Hill.
He was,
Yeah,
Before he went to.
Spring Hill.
Yeah.
He had some challenges there and got sued. And I'm not trying to degrade anybody's character, I'm just looking into things.
Right.
Deck Shaver Jr. Let's see. I think he was the one I came across that, I think he's one that I came across that I really couldn't find much history on him, honestly. If you look online, he's had a consulting business and then had these other, short-term jobs. John D. Herenstein started, I think let me look. Altoona, Iowa, he was there for 5 months from April of 2022. He resigned, he was asked to resign, actually.
And he was asked to resign from Minnesota.
Kendall Francis. He was at Hutchison, some of you might remember that in the news. I don't agree with why he was asked to resign, and he did. But he was there 4 to 5 months. And then back to, I think, the first one.
I just put them in date order, backwards from how I got them. They're not in it.
Jeffrey Pedersen had a lot of history, but what he didn't know is he was asked to, actually he was terminated in Union City, and I haven't figured out where Union City, was it Iowa or South Dakota, or where?
I thought it was Paducah, Kentucky, he was asked to resign.
No, Paducah is where he went on to, because it was in 2018. That's where I got confused with the timeline.
Okay.
He was a county, and they have a different form of government, but he was like a city county treasurer that kind of acted as the administrator / took care of the budget, and then the 5-person council / mayor took care of everything else. So I don't, what my little good skills at Googling, I don't see much. And I'll leave it at that. And by no means, it's nothing of a judgment of character. It's just the 5-minute search and seeing, what they have in their history as far as social media, and if they made it to the news, I kind of put a check mark and said, we don't need that. So I'll leave it at that. Sorry if I looked into it too much.
The only person that reached out to me was the Jeffrey Pedersen. He's the only one that actually called and asked about that.
Yeah, and the weirdest
And he had watched our council meeting.
The weirdest thing that I saw was the email from, who was it? The Deck Shaver. Anytime I get an email that has like different forms of fonts, it kind of makes you wonder. But that's just my own history. So now you got it from Paul Harvey, and you can figure out the rest of the story.
And that's the rest of the story. Yeah. Mine for some reason didn't print, unless it's in here.
Do we pick 2, Zoom meet them?
don't know.
With Jeff, there's not a
I'd
lot
say
to get
the-
excited
No,
about, but I
there's
mean,
not, that's, I know.
They're here for a few months.
I know. we
This is
could-
what I keep telling
so-
myself,
well,
like,
Yeah, they're gonna,
they can just get us through
I mean, yeah, I
4 to
don't know
6
why
months.
we had.
Oh,
gonna
bite
be
your
time.
tongue. Yeah,
What if it's,
4 months, 4 months. I'm going on 4 months.
Well, it'll be a few months either way.
Just, it's okay, whatever. When you do, you do.
oh, I feel like any of them would have to be a real wow factor to,
yeah, nothing really,
nothing's.
Well, and it's at $50 an hour or whatever we agreed to, are they gonna be here 5 days a week? Or is-
Patterson asked that he would like to be, because he said, when you said 3 days a week, is that a given, or will it be longer? And he did say he would like to live here in the apartment, he and his wife.
So what kind of contract are you thinking? I mean,
That,
is it a month to month? Cause if we
Normally
get
it
somebody and it's not going right and we gotta keep going back to Cindy or Jason, I don't wanna be stuck in anything,
that's all right.
Well.
I don't blame you either for,
you know?
I mean, a contract employee, we can,
yeah, a contract employee, you can
time
pretty
basically,
well
yeah, or-
tie it to anything, however you want.
Generally terminated upon at will.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So I agree with Kevin. Let's just pick a couple and Zoom interview them, and if we don't like them, then start over, I guess. But I don't know where we're gonna go.
I know, like I said, I got these all right at the start.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the dates, and then I've got nothing else, and it's still out there, because I have to do it by the month, so it's out there to the end of the month, so.
What do you want, go around the room and just pick a name, is that?
Well, I kinda think, okay, there's what, 5 of them?
Mm-hmm.
If we did it in an evening and gave them each 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and just interviewed them all. And then go from those 5 and just, maybe somebody will wow us.
I don't really think we need to interview Richard Mann. We've
I
already
would
interviewed-
eliminate that one
Oh,
myself.
because you've interviewed,
Yeah, I would like to-
interviewed him
It's
as a
enough
police
issues.
chief.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think that would be
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So then the other ones.
healthy fit.
Turn down to 4.
I
And
agree
yeah, if we
with
give them 20, 30 minutes, we're here for a couple hours and get it all done in one day.
is there any others you wanna cut and go down to 3? I mean, I'm just saying, if
Yeah.
you're gonna do it and you wanna cut 2 off the top and go down to 3, then do
Yeah.
that.
Now that what's the burden been, Cindy, on your, your daily duties with where we're at right now?
Well, they've increased, but I delegate. I have a great team in my office, and I'll tell you, I don't have a problem asking somebody to help me. And if I don't know an answer, I ask Kent. I've called him. I call Gary, comes in every day. It's fine now. If we get into a problem, an employee problem or something, that's when you guys will have to come in and help me out, but it's not terrible. The big thing is, like with the projects and stuff, I don't know how if they can jump in or not, because that's pretty difficult to know, sitting through the pre-construction meeting, sitting through pipe sizes and stuff. We worked through all this stuff with Jadwin on all those clean outs and flush tanks, and I would have thought that might have been difficult. I think mostly at the lagoon, in this phase, they're just digging holes. and I think we'll be okay. But
And I'll ask the same question to the mayor.
how hard has it been on
It's
you?
been not too bad. I mean, I've been getting more phone calls and I've had to come up here more than I typically do. And some of the phone calls that typically would get directed towards the city administrator, they've been calling me and shooting on me.
Make sure
which
that
is
it's-
all right.
Oh, you mean.
But, I've had some calls that, yeah, well, normally would have probably gone to administrator, but they've called me. It's not been terrible. This is a slower
If I have
time of
a
year.
question, I
so-
will call. I mean,
I
I'm
guess-
not gonna make the big
I'm gonna
decision.
go back to what I said a couple meetings ago. You're not gonna like it, but I just don't want a black eye bringing somebody from out of town in and then having a disaster. If we can manage locally, I think that's what we should do. But that's all up to whether
Right now, we're
Cindy.
willing to take it.
Jason and the committee members for various
Yeah.
projects can handle. I don't wanna go out and hire somebody and then they come in and they say they're gonna be here 5 days and then they're here 4 days and then pretty soon they're here 3 days and then things aren't getting taken care of. You know, on the legal aspect, I think John, you know,
We call him.
that's what he is.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not comfortable with anyone on the list, but if we wanna pick out 3 people and interview them, more power to us.
I did interview him at least. I think it's always difficult when you're just looking at just some papers that they turned in with the resume. I mean, the resume is just not a good read, I think, sometimes of people compared to actually talking to them. So,
And if we don't like any of them, we may be in
yeah,
that
so
situation.
just
so.
don't hire anybody, but I'd at least interview them and go through that part and see what you think.
Yeah, we could probably tell a lot too by face-to-face interview.
You could.
You know, you could.
When we interviewed for chief of police,
Yeah.
you could.
At least the character of the person.
So are you thinking the other 4, or do you want to narrow it down to
Let's just go with
3?
4.
Okay.
I would knock out Mr. Shaver.
Shaver.
There you go.
Shaver.
He's just got a bad feeling about him.
Well, he is from Texas. It's gonna cost you the most to bring him here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. Lori, you're the one who's got, what's a good night for you?
If it's in advance, I can probably make it work. You know, if you wanna do next week, I don't know about that, but anything after that, I could probably make work.
Also, I didn't know, like, maybe next Monday?
Absolutely nothing next Monday.
I think
You mean
Monday's
the
the best
30th
night.
Monday?
As in the 30th, if we can get them all on board?
Time,
I can call him and try.
What time do you get off work?
5:15? I can be here by 5. I can be here by 4:30 if I had to. May not be showered, but.
We go on that
I'll
side.
forgive you.
You're gonna be looking at the other guy now. You wanna start some at 5:30, 5:15?
5:15.
Let's see what
Gives a
time you
little
can get them
buffer.
started.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go with that. Let's see what time you can get them
yeah,
started.
that'd be
and then
fine.
we'll go from
Okay.
there. Yeah, 5:15, 5:30.
Did you say
Thursday,
Thursday?
5 o'clock.
She's saying Monday,
5 o'clock
October
in my calendar.
30th. Which you'll just be getting off work
On Monday, yes.
at 5:15? No?
Well, today it was 5:15, last Friday it was 5:30. It just depends on how much trouble we have balancing and everything,
Okay.
so,
Unless you're a couple minutes late.
yeah, that's
Okay.
true.
Okay. I'll see what I can get arranged.
Thought of a request.
Uh-huh.
So we have Tom McNeish on the payroll. Just,
He's a contract employee.
could he help make sure we're technically ready for whenever we do it?
Okay.
No offense, Cindy.
Oh, I can't.
Since
I
anybody
mean,
else, just,
No, if we're gonna start them early, I'll have, they do the Zoom
just so we
stuff.
have it all going
Yeah,
and.
the one,
Yeah.
the girls.
I don't
in there can-
wanna have people show up to a Zoom meeting and
Right.
we have no video.
And I can have the girls set it up,
Okay.
because that's what they do. If you're gonna start at 5:30 already, we can get them.
And I do know when we did the chief of police interviews, we had a little bit of an issue, but it was their internet on the other end.
Right,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because we are fiber here.
Yeah.
So it should be steady.
okay.
Yeah, well, not always.
I know it's not, because my internet phone here doesn't work with a diddly
Today
squat
mine
sometimes.
crashed 3 times, so.
Yeah, and I know,
Today did?
Mine locked up terrible today,
Yeah.
several times.
yeah, it's, you never know.
Well, I don't know what internet is, so I don't have it at work.
It's like the cups with the string.
Yeah.
You know what, that's too technologically advanced for us.
October 30th.
And if I can't, I mean, do you want to do some on a different day? Do you want me to bring it to you? Can you give me a second date, just in case some of them tells me no?
I think you get a schedule and let us know and we all.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, and then
I
you
can make it
work.
great, if not, then.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that, okay? That's fine.
And if there's messages, we just keep people informed and.
Some of it may be just, maybe a night who all can make it and you can't. Not that I like that, but it just, maybe that's what it is.
Okay,
Do that Mondays and Fridays on my work days.
okay.
Alright, we'll go from there. So next up, we have the light poles. We just got the quote from Stanion.
And the one that doesn't really say much is Sternberg. And that is direct from Sternberg. There's no in between.
And what
And-
brand do we have now? Do you-
Sternberg. Yeah, Sternberg.
Okay.
And I don't know why they use Pratt. We told them Manhattan was, we had an account with Stanion in Manhattan, but they used Pratt's, because they have to go through somebody.
That's their headquarters.
Oh, okay. Is that why? That would make sense. I don't know if their top matched exactly. The Sternberg tops do match what we have presently on the trail.
The Sternberg's match what's on the trail.
Yeah, because they're Sternbergs.
Okay.
So Sternbergs are 3,200, and these are 2,895.
And they
Well, and that depends on how tall they are. Will originally bid the 16s. I think that's the 3,200.
Yeah,
And
16 footers.
And then he did 14s on the other,
The multi.
because we weren't sure what size they were. Kent was saying two different sizes.
1,100.
And I think the
Next page,
ones
Joe.
on Stanion are the 14s.
Okay. So 3,100 is the ones,
That's 14.
That's
That
14.
compares apples to apples. Yes,
Right.
that's
Right.
correct. So,
what's on the trail.
yes.
And how many are we talking?
Two right now, the two that go in front of the health department, that got smashed in the storm.
And they didn't say anything about these being discontinued in the near future or anything weird like that.
No, and they still have the 4 light one, it's just that obviously they cost a lot more.
Yeah.
The globes cost when they break, the bulbs are a lot more maintenance.
Everything's more.
Everything is, so, I mean, I did talk to Convention and Tourism and Chamber Main Street. They're kind of on board. They think that would be fine to change them, if we have to go a block at a time down the street so we could get them changed.
Isn't there 4 of them on that first block though?
There are only 2, there's the 2 on that side.
On the
And I don't know
north side.
if there's one, isn't there one on the other side, on the south side? And then the one by the wagon wheel went down,
The storm before that.
yeah, the storm in front of that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we can replace more if you want, but we need to
We
do
haven't
the
had one
2.
in two or three years now. President.
Yeah,
There
at
was
least.
one
It's been
there
a while.
by Bosses.
That's probably
Isn't
the
there
other one.
I think there would be two there, wouldn't there?
Well, or is it by, it might be by the chamber office more. I don't know, I'd have to look. I don't know that. I think
You bring it up,
maybe it was
I'm looking
three.
at it.
Todd's looking.
Okay.
I mean, if we're gonna start them, we might as well do 4 and do a block.
Do a
and be
block
done.
at a time.
So is this something we budgeted? I'm just curious because
No,
some of
it's
these
not.
expenses came up in the
And we're
candidate
having-
form and.
Yeah, and we
Yeah.
are. We don't really have a choice in front of the health department where they gotta smash. We have
Because I know there's kind of a rush on this deal because they need the template for HRS so they can set the
So they know what the bolt pattern
bolt
is.
pattern is when they set it.
And that's why we said 2, because that would be, I know I'd like to do 4, but,
We can do 2 and finish.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're right, the money thing, Jeff.
Yeah, I think I'd stay with the 2.
And,
There-
and when we go next time, we'll do 2 on the south side and match the block and go.
In 2013, there was one on the corner at the health department, one in front of that
Joe's.
Patty Day Realty.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And then one off the corner of Joe's, a little bit east. And then there was one off the corner of the Chamber Main Street office and one at the corner of Boss's.
Yeah.
So there were 5
5
in
in
that
that block.
block.
We'll just stick for 2 for right now.
Yeah, I think that boss side of things, you don't know what
What's gonna be?
Rob's up
Right.
to,
It would,
so.
yeah, absolutely.
See, I brought my budget.
Yeah, thank you. And
It'll be
it's,
printed.
Mine's in my case.
yeah,
But I think going forward, maybe next year, but
We
next
should
year's
budget
budget's
in.
already, we need to budget in a block at a time and start replacing them.
$1,200 a block.
1,200?
Or
$12,000.
12,000.
Did insurance cover any of
12 to
those lights
15.
that were taken out during that?
I thought we got a
No?
little bit of, we didn't get any money? I thought we got a little bit of
well,
money.
I'd have to go back to that claim, because there was so much that went down. I'd have to look, I don't know that. I didn't think the lights were,
I'd be curious to see that, though.
yeah. We got all the money already, I know, but.
Well, somebody wanna make a motion then?
I move we go with the Sternberg 14-foot for $3,100 each and purchase 2.
Second,
The single acorn.
yes.
The single, okay.
What matches so it's on the trail,
Yeah.
Okay.
so we
okay,
can stay consistent,
Okay.
Okay,
and they're easier to maintain.
When we order these poles, would you be interested for us to check what it would cost to have it made in the pole for the brackets for the flags that we already, those were put on afterwards. But if we order these poles, we can get the bracket already in there. All our flags are at 11 foot, you know, the welcome flags
Right.
and whatever. Would you be interested in that at all, or not? We can,
You can ask,
Yeah.
yeah,
see if it doesn't make it different.
they might, go
Yeah.
either way.
Factory done things sometimes are better.
Yes.
And sometimes that's how they get you.
Exactly, so I mean, because we can always add them later, we know how, obviously.
Right, but yeah, we can ask.
Ask, okay,
Yeah.
all right.
okay, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, 8-0.
Right.
Okay, we have a couple resolutions. One is 2023-59, which is a nuisance at 1411 Alston.
Move to approve resolution 2023-59.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, 8-0. Next, we have resolution 2023-60, which is a nuisance at 211 North Fifth.
Move to approve resolution 2023-60.
Second,
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 8-0. Unless we have the consent agenda, which we didn't have anything on there, which is rare.
Yeah,
Next, we have appropriations ordinance number 3808.
Move to approve appropriation ordinance number 3808 in the amount of $416,880.83.
Second,
Okay. Any discussion about any of the items on there? Roll call?
Fry,
Yes.
Keating,
Yes.
Snelling,
Yes.
Pikeman,
Yes.
Guaraki,
Yes.
Price,
Yes.
Barron's,
Yes.
Wrong.
Yes.
8-0.
Right, we don't have anything on staff reports, so we'll
I
move on.
would like
or-
to report one thing.
Yeah.
The biology club went and cleaned, last time the Builders Club painted at Lions Park. Now the biology club came and they cleaned from the hospital on North Street all the way to St. Gregory's, and I think I'd like to thank them for that. And
Very nice.
they're looking for more service projects, and if I can come up with something, I'll offer it to them. That was wonderful, so.
Yes.
Good.
Very nice.
Good job. Yes.
Right, move on to standing committee reports then. Does anybody have anything on street? Water and wastewater?
Yes. 407 North 14th Street. Apparently there's standing water that's been there in the yard by the alley since like before June.
No more than that.
Okay, so what's going on with that?
That is, I'll give you the best of what I know.
Okay,
And that is an old leak, and it's in that abandoned house of, I think Dave Lynn owns it on the alley. That's where the leak comes from, and I don't know what the fix is. When we've asked the water department, I think it's a big fix. They've been aware of it. They know that it's there. It's not anybody's water, but yes, there's nobody's paying for that water, but yes, there's water standing there. So I would hope that we would get to that leak, but it's that house on the alley,
The green one.
and it's been leaking for a while.
a while.
Yep. That's true.
The water's traveled a long ways from it.
So it's on the list.
It is on the list.
Okay.
The priority right now is the hot.
I get it,
garbage
but
It's the
I
health
had
department.
project to get that taken care of.
somebody reach out to me, so
Yes.
I'm bringing it up.
Anybody else have anything on water, wastewater?
Looks like he's got all of his holes dug.
Did he get the rest of them done today? Good.
So, I don't know if he's 100% on all of them, but he's pretty close on them.
So you can get those different taps in.
Shut them down.
Shut off- Yes, most of them shut down, and then
No, on
from
Broadway.
the health department.
Oh,
They don't want one of those old taps to blow and, water the new building.
Be good. Okay. Anything else on water, wastewater? Parks and Rec?
I see we have the pool must be completed.
Okay. They were here, and I called him up just to get a report because they did not give me a report. And he said that they'd had some caulking to do yet, and I don't know if he's come up to do that and remove his rock. And then he had one part left for the flow meter, and I don't know if that came in or not, but he explained to our guys why there was that vapor lock thing that wasn't working and what they need to do to fix it. It was mechanical on our side, so it wasn't. So he thought yes, and if we find anything else to let him know before next season, so far
Yeah, I
so
seen they
good.
had the whole concreted back shut off.
Yeah, they did that, and I didn't know if he had got his rock picked up, cause he
It
had.
wasn't as-
Okay, cause he told me when they come up to pick up the rock, they would do the last caulking. He had a little more caulking yet to do, and then they should be.
better get to it before
Good to
next
go.
week. It's gonna
So-
be that cold.
Like
And
I
we
said,
think
when
we're
it-
ready.
When it was running the other day, I mean, everything looked
Looks
pretty
good.
unique,
Good.
pretty uniform all the way
Uniform.
across instead of
Yep.
how it was, so.
So, and he's supposed to let me know if there's anything else. We have not received the bill yet, so I figured he probably wasn't quite done yet.
Right. Anything else on Parks and Rec? Cemetery and Airport? Police and Fire? And I don't know if this is a place, I guess, police or street. I've had a few people contact me again with complaints about Jake breaks through town. And every couple years it gets brought up, and then we call people and it gets better for a little while, and then it starts getting worse again. And it's not specifically Jake breaks, it's people that are Jake breaking with straight pipes.
Oh, yeah.
To be more clear, if they've got the mufflers on there they're supposed to have, it's not as big of a deal, but
Yeah.
don't, and then they Jake break almost all the way through town, it seems like.
I know we can't just be the sound police, but as somebody who works a half block off the highway, there's a lot of people who are, I know a lot of businesses are affected, not just me. I'll put it to you that way. It's a conversation that's been had, that
Well,
a lot of
it's
unnecessarily
both.
loud traffic.
Yeah, it's
It's
through
traffic.
Middletown, it's the center of town, it's coming in
I can-
77 from the south. They even do a lot of it when they hit out there by hometown.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can be several blocks away and still hear it.
We're at a football game or something a couple weeks, and you could hear them coming into town from the south, and it was like
From the
over
south,
the
you hear it
sound
more than
system
you
at
think.
the football field.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But,
Living 2 blocks off the highway, yeah. And I lived on the highway for almost 40 years, and it's never bothered me as much as what it is. Well,
It's more trucks, I think.
yeah,
It's
but
a
you,
volume.
you also
yeah.
Trucks.
get people that it sounds like they're going under the overpass and making all kinds of noise, and it echoes.
There's some real hot roddy
Yeah.
lads running around.
Yeah,
Camaros and cars without hoods.
yeah,
So,
Is it red?
it might be.
yeah. So anyway, so yeah, I just, yeah.
But I've had some complaints, that's what I would say.
well, I think you better make sure you know how the ordinance reads.
Yeah,
Because last time I read the ordinance, if you have a muffler on a semi, then you're totally allowed to use them,
Yeah. Okay.
so.
If they got the proper mufflers, I think
It's
it's,
a tough thing to
I-
enforce.
It's
too.
tough to enforce.
Yes, and I agree they're loud.
And there's a loud, and then there's, there's what's
I agree.
legal and what's right.
excessive.
I know, I'm just saying with the way the ordinance is
I
written.
understand what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I was gonna say, Keith. Keith,
A time of day. when
Keith,
they
it's
sound-
being cool in your stool, right?
Cool.
They sound good, but at 2 o'clock in the morning, they're not so good.
Well, it's kinda like the trains going toot, toot,
Oh, yeah.
toot, 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 toot.
No,
And
it's,
then the coyotes get involved, and it's toot, 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 toot.
Symphony.
and this time of year, we're getting into the season where they never shut the engines off. And they run all night long and you hear that hum. You hear it? Yeah.
See, at least that's a white
I don't hear it
noise.
as much during the
It's pretty
summer, when
even. I'd rather
when
have
leaves
that.
are on the trees,
I
but
can hear
in the
the
winter
engines in my
time,
house.
it's colder, the leaves are gone, and
We're
then
gonna
I
talk about this
hear
more.
it. Alright.
Noise
I-
abatement.
I said I would bring it up, so I did.
Yeah.
Did your duty.
Yeah.
Anything else on police and fire? Admin and finance?
You want me to explain?
Yeah.
So, Convention and Tourism and Chamber Main Street advertised for a tourism, the director. They got one person that, did not meet the criteria that applied, so they were thrown out. So basically, nobody's applied. So Maureen wanted to know if we had the contract ready for Wayne, because that's where they're at, is to hiring Wayne as a permanent director for next year. So Cindy and I worked on changing, like, where it was chamber or convention and tourism, putting it the, yeah, all the, combined, and the city and, and on the contract, she has sent it to Maureen, and, they will go over it, and then once they critique it or whatever, make sure it's okay with them, then it will come back to the chamber and we'll have to approve it. So,
Makes sense.
Yeah.
and I think Wayne's doing a good enough job. I just think before this comes to fruition, they need to figure out how they're gonna mesh everything together. How they're gonna mesh convention and tourism, chamber, Main Street, all together as one entity, and how we're gonna do that.
And I think they're working on that.
Okay.
They are.
from what I understand.
That's what I understand too.
But
So,
it's not something that happens overnight.
Well, I know
That's
it's
a lot
not.
of
I know, there's a lot,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, and I just say that everything I've heard nothing but positive feedback about Wayne, from the businesses downtown, communication with staff. He's very enthusiastic about the job, and,
Every 2 weeks you get a report.
yeah, he's doing a wonderful job, so I just.
I'm more informed than I've ever been.
He's got everything planned out through the end
I
of
mean,
December.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So, yeah, so we're still moving forward with it, so. All right, nothing else on admin and finance, I don't think, is there?
I have one thing on admin and finance. The document that we received from SGR, I'm wondering if we could, we're gonna have a special meeting for our Zoom meetings. I'm wondering if we could add that to that meeting for everybody to kind of say, hey, we're happy, or this is what we want changed.
Not a bad idea.
And I
anybody
think we
can-
need to do that in public
Yeah.
to say,
Yeah.
hey, and that way we publish it. So,
And did you reach out to him as well? He was asking for you to. I mean, you don't have to, I'm just,
I
you
have-
have that opportunity too.
No,
I mean,
no.
on your email, he said, reach out to him.
no,
It's okay.
the only time I reached out, I said, is everybody done interviewing? And then I heard,
Okay.
All right.
but I think we ought to add that so it's published publicly with
Okay.
the agenda
Good
for the
idea.
special meeting.
So, you want this published with the agenda for the?
I think it should be, so people can at least look at it before we do our interviews, because
Okay.
the interview process is gonna be a contract individual, so it's a public meeting.
Right.
So anybody that wants to show up is welcome to.
That's great. Okay.
All right. We'll move on then. I do have a couple of appointments for the, planning commission for alternates, or nominees.
Move to approve the mayor's appointments for the planning commission, alternates.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 8-0. Next, John, do you have anything for us?
Just one thing, but I want to look the clerk, do we want to talk about the one issue we popped up today? And
No, I mean, I think it's handleable.
All right,
You
okay.
just pay it
All
off
right.
and be done.
$250 deal, but no big deal. So we'll
I
handle
hadn't heard anything about it, I guess, yet, so.
Oh, we've had this black squirrel on our website.
Oh,
since the
that.
Inception of the black
Oh.
squirrel, since our inception of our website. And there's
We got it.
some company out there from across the ocean who just
Been noticing
monitors
that.
websites and says, oh, you shouldn't have used this picture. And then they send you an email from Los Angeles that says, oh, and yeah, we could have used the picture for $25 if we'd have known we'd had to, it's crazy.
$50, but
Yeah,
I found it.
whatever.
It was-
It just,
Wasn't it probably just a picture that somebody locally
Just like a
took,
stock photo?
or
No.
was
it was a stock
Oh, it was
photo
stock
that you
photo.
could get
Oh,
off
okay.
internet anywhere,
It
so,
was, it was marked. With some help, I was able to find it.
yeah, so it was, and it's been on there since whoever did our website way back in,
So
when
is
it
it, is
started.
it trademark infringement or copyright?
Copyright they're saying, so it's,
But we're square now.
yeah, we will be as soon as he gets the bill to me. So we use their squirrel for about 10 years or a little more, so $250 to use their picture.
So going forward, we can't use it.
Yeah, go take your own photograph.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot
Hopefully
of
we can
wonderful
find
ones that
one.
Sarah's taken, so we'll just get one for the paper.
For college, high school, helping out and grab to go.
There we go.
So-
We can have a competition. That's a great idea. Ooh, that'd be good. Yes.
I would like to read the statute, not making any type of inquiry or making any judgment. But it's KSA 75-4318F. All right. Interactive, this is on serial communications, just, it's for informational purpose only, something to think about as you ponder the week. Interactive communications outside of a noticed meeting may be a meeting under coma if collectively involve a majority of the membership of a public body or agency, 2, share a common topic of discussion. 3, are intended by any or all participants to reach an agreement on a matter that requires binding action to be taken by a public body or agency. So, I just want to read the statute, so, something to think about. Otherwise, I have no need for a executive session.
Okay. All right, nobody else has a reason for an executive session today? Okay. Roundtable. Todd? Jeff?
No.
Lori?
Nothing.
Keith? Al?
No, sir.
Parker?
No.
Colleen? Kevin?
Yes, Black School Night is this coming Thursday.
Oh,
We want
yeah.
to see all of you people down there helping serve donuts and meeting the public.
Are you dressing
Yeah.
up?
I
Speak
will
with
be
you
there.
all.
Schedule make out? for
Say
that?
who all is
Picture
gonna,
of him is
There's
probably
not a
licensed.
schedule. You need to show up and be there, because we're gonna have to be running the donut. It will be in front of the chamber office, or beside the chamber office, so
Like
that
where
we
it
can
was
use
last
their, yep, so we can use their facilities to store our stuff, and we don't have to pay anybody to haul it over here and whatever in the night.
hopefully it's not windy.
So all of you are very much welcome.
Last time we did it there, it was
Yeah,
windy,
that
it
was-
was.
Todd made a good point. Is your costume copyrighted?
I don't know.
I think we found the squirrel to photograph.
Yes, it's only 5 to
It's only 2
7.
hours.
It's only 5 to
Well,
7.
yeah, but that time change is a little bit different.
Oh, I
than
know.
What it's
So,
normally been.
yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't rain.
Are we gonna have the tent, pop-up tent up?
We can put the pop-up tent up if
Better,
you'd like.
better get some sandbags.
Yeah, well, that's just it. If it's really windy, it
I
does not
know,
work.
'Cause-
Huh?
If it's really windy, I'm not
I know,
interested.
because if it's really windy, I would suggest we go inside the chamber office, because we had a heck of a time keeping them.
2 years ago, it was a
Yeah,
mess.
the napkins and everything was.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
well,
whole-
the
Everything's
boxes,
trying-
when they get
yeah,
empty,
everything's
start
trying to fly
flying.
away.
Yeah.
Or before they were empty.
Yeah, because there's not much blocking of anything blocking the window.
I can do 5 to 6,
Okay?
but at 6, the Footloose Dancers dance. At 6:30 is the costume contest, so.
Well, 6:30 is the costume contest will be right across the street.
I know.
Yep, so it may be busy then.
Yeah,
But I have
They moved it again? Oh,
No,
not you.
not me.
Yeah, okay.
I have a kid that's going in the
I think I
costume
can make it.
contest.
That'd be awesome, Keith. I hope I can make it.
Speaking of that
If
office,
people want to see me, I know where I'm at.
speaking of that office, the security camera was hanging down, pointing down, last time I saw it. And it's not bolted up very high. I mean, you could stand up on your feet and just grab it. So I think it needs to be bolted up higher.
Okay.
It was pointing out today, because I stood there and talked to Woody, and I looked at it, because I was trying to put one on the back of my house last night, so I paid attention to that one.
But I think it should be higher, 'cause
Well,
it's
yeah,
not very high, it's just right above the window.
Okay. That company that put that in, and we
I
have
mean,
trouble with that lock.
you just touch it with your
You
hand
do?
if you want.
Oh, yeah. That lock don't work. Okay.
But
Yeah,
I've also.
We have 4 times.
No,
I've
but
also
we're gonna
wondered
keep
about
going.
that door though, because that's that door that.
Well, if, it didn't take much, you can look at it that it wasn't, screwed in all the way. And so, and I know that somebody said, well, why don't you fix it? And he said, no, you're paying this company a lot of money. They've been here 3 times. If they couldn't see that's what was wrong, get them back here. So, especially if I have a camera to fix too, we can.
Yeah.
We'll try. Okay, otherwise Wayne just gets up and opens the door a lot.
okay.
That's all I have,
Anything else?
sir.
I don't have anything.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
thanks, guys.
When can we do an admin and finance meeting that we've been needing to do?
Oh, yeah, thank you.
We need to do admin finance really,
I know.
and we need to get it. I had more interest. I had 3 people call me.
I'm in the finance.
The rest
A lot like
Oh,
being in
Really?
the car with my mother-in-law, we were across the Arkansas side.
Okay, so I should be able to hit stop.